Story: Mr. Magnolia's Missing Boot. Once upon a time, in a quaint little cottage at the edge of a bustling town, lived a man named Mr. Magnolia. Mr. Magnolia was an extraordinary fellow with an array of talents. He could sing like a nightingale, play the trumpet with great flair, and paint pictures that could make anyone smile. But there was one serious omission in his otherwise full and happy life. Mr. Magnolia had only one boot. Yes, you heard that correctly. One day, many years ago, while walking along the beach, Mr. Magnolia had lost one of his boots in the sand. Despite his best efforts to retrieve it, the mischievous sea had swallowed it whole, leaving him with only one boot. But Mr. Magnolia was not one to let such small inconveniences dampen his spirits. He continued to enjoy life to the fullest, strolling through the town, playing his trumpet for the children, and painting vibrant, colorful pictures that adorned his cottage walls. Mr. Magnolia's friends and neighbors often wondered why he didn't simply buy a new pair of boots. "Mr. Magnolia," they would ask, "why don't you get yourself a new pair of boots? You'd look so dashing in them." But Mr. Magnolia would just smile and reply, "Oh, my dear friends, I'm quite content with one boot. It makes me unique, and I rather like being unique, you see." And so, life went on for Mr. Magnolia. With his extraordinary talents, his cheerful disposition, and his one solitary boot, he danced through life with a spring in his step, his one boot thudding rhythmically on the cobbled streets. Then, one fine morning, as Mr. Magnolia was enjoying a cup of tea in his cozy cottage, the postman arrived with a mysterious parcel. Mr. Magnolia was intrigued, for he rarely received parcels. He carefully unwrapped it and found inside a beautifully wrapped box. On opening the box, he discovered an exquisite pair of bright red boots, perfectly matched and adorned with silver buckles. Mr. Magnolia's heart leaped with joy, and he couldn't believe his eyes. "Oh, my stars!" he exclaimed, gazing at the magnificent boots. "Who could have sent me these wonderful boots?" There was a note tucked inside the box which read, "To Mr. Magnolia, with compliments and best wishes from a friend who believes you should have the joy of two boots. May they take you on new adventures. Yours sincerely, a secret admirer." Mr. Magnolia was overwhelmed with gratitude. He tried on the boots, and they fit perfectly. For the first time in many years, he had a pair of boots on his feet. He looked at himself in the mirror, his heart brimming with happiness. "Now this is truly magnificent," he exclaimed. With newfound zest, Mr. Magnolia decided to take a stroll through the town, wearing his shiny red boots. The townsfolk were astounded when they saw him. They clapped, cheered, and whistled, and the children danced around him, their laughter filling the air. Mr. Magnolia played his trumpet, and the whole town joined in a merry procession. As they strolled along, a heavy rain began to fall. Puddles formed in the street, and the children splashed and giggled in them, their eyes shining with delight. Mr. Magnolia watched them, a twinkle in his eye. He had never splashed in puddles before, and now he had the perfect opportunity. With a joyful whoop, Mr. Magnolia leaped into a puddle, his boots creating a magnificent splash. The children cheered and urged him on. Mr. Magnolia laughed with pure delight as he splashed and danced in the puddles, the rain soaking his clothes, and his heart bursting with happiness. From that day on, Mr. Magnolia's life became even more full and happy. He continued to sing like a nightingale, play his trumpet with great flair, and paint pictures that could make anyone smile. But now, he also splashed in puddles with the children, and his two boots thudded rhythmically on the cobbled streets. As for his secret admirer, their identity remained a mystery. But Mr. Magnolia knew that somewhere out there was a kind and thoughtful soul who had given him the greatest gift of all, a chance to experience the simple joys of life, like splashing in puddles with two boots on his feet. And so, in his cozy cottage at the edge of the bustling town, Mr. Magnolia continued to live his extraordinary life, cherishing the beauty of uniqueness and the joy of simple pleasures, all thanks to a mysterious gift that had made his heart overflow with happiness. Moral of the story: Mr. Magnolia's missing boot teaches us that even in a life filled with extraordinary talents and unique circumstances, there can be a sense of incompleteness. The story reminds us that sometimes the simplest joys and gestures, like a pair of boots or the ability to splash in puddles, can bring immense happiness and fulfillment. It encourages us to embrace the small pleasures of life, cherish acts of kindness, and celebrate the moments that make us feel complete, no matter how unique or unconventional our journey may be.